On the day of my husband Michael Johnson's birthday party. Both his sponsored college student and I gave him watches as gifts. The difference? Hers cost about $150. Mine was worth over $100. 000. Under the astonished stares of the guests. Lila Moore, his 19-year-old mentee, blushed awkwardly. Her eyes welling up. I had no idea we'd picked the same gift. Mine must seem so cheap. Michael instantly took her gift with a doting smile. I love what Lila got me, he said tenderly. Then he grabbed a plate from the table and hurled it at me, shouting, "You knew she's a struggling student. You picked the same gift on purpose. Didn't you? If it wasn't for Lila, my anxiety disorder wouldn't have improved. She's my cure. I won't let anyone bully her as long as I'm around. But I'm the licensed therapist who's been treating him for years." Turns out, my 5 years of company and care meant less to him than her sweet nothings. I left the party and decided to file for divorce. Less than an hour after I got home, Michael showed up with Lila. He marched her into the living room. Lila looked at me with feigned timid eyes. "Mrs. Johnson, I'm sorry if I upset you today. I just wanted to apologize in person. I didn't know what kind of performance this was." But before I could speak, Michael snapped, "Are you mute?" Lila insisted on coming here to apologize. "Say something." I stood up. "Just leave my house. I'm going to bed." As I headed for the master bedroom, Michael blocked my path. I was drinking, Lila drove me home. I can't send a young girl back alone this late. I knew where this was going but played dumb, and he rubbed the back of his neck, avoiding eye contact. "She'll stay here tonight. It's not appropriate for her to share a room with me. Your guest room faces north. It's too drafty for someone as delicate as Lila. She'll take the master bedroom. You can sleep in the guest room." Our marriage had been happy until last year, when he started sponsoring Lila through a charity program. Now he was asking me to switch rooms with his mentee? I laughed bitterly. No. Michael's face darkened, all traces of guilt vanishing. He shoved me hard. I fell to the floor, knees bruising instantly. Without a glance, he grabbed Lila's arm and led her to our master bedroom. "Sleep here, Lila. Lock the door, don't let anyone hassle you." I stared in disbelief as they shut the door. The cold tile felt like ice against my heart. I had no choice but to take the guest room, freezing, with only a thin blanket. Later, when I went to the kitchen for hot water, I heard their voices through the walls, pressing my ear to the master bedroom door. I realized they were on the phone, flirting, whispering things no mentor and student should say. I ran to the bathroom, gagging. That night, I shivered awake at dawn, only to be jolted by pounding on the guest room door. "Mrs. Johnson? Breakfast is ready. I made it just for you." Michael yanked me out of bed. "Look at Lila, so thoughtful, so capable. All you do is sleep, like a lazy slug." At the table, I stared at the food in shock. Michael was already digging in, while Lila watched him adoringly, then turned to me with a pout. "Don't you like it? Did I do something wrong?" Michael barked, "Eat up. Lila made you mango sticky rice as a peace offering." I met his gaze. "I'm allergic to mangoes. Remember?" He acted surprised, but once he'd known every detail of my life. He used to order cakes without mango, pick cilantro from my salads, and brave winter mornings to buy my favorite dumplings. When had he forgotten? Lila dropped her eyes. "She still hates me." I tried to make amends, but Michael shot me a glare. "Is this allergy real? Or just another drama? You've never eaten mango around me. How do I know it's not fake?" My chest ached. "I can't eat it. I'm serious." As I tried to leave, he grabbed my wrist. Spoonful of mango rice shoved at my mouth. "You're eating this, now." He pinched my cheeks until I gagged it down, then released me with a sneer, "Grow up." Crying over food? So dramatic. Exhausted, I collapsed into the guest bed. Hours later, I woke to burning itching, my face swollen, skin covered in hives. I grabbed Michael's arm as he walked by. "I need an ambulance. I'm having an allergic reaction." He shook me off. "Already in a tuxedo. Can't you see I'm busy? Lila's senior prom is tonight, I'm her escort." Over his shoulder, I saw Lila in the doorway, wearing my silver sequined gown from our 5th anniversary. That evening gown was my original design. I treated it like a masterpiece, never once wearing it. Michael knew exactly how many nights I'd stayed up sewing every bead, every stitch. He used to hold me tenderly, eyes full of concern. "Baby, you work too hard. We'll need a special cabinet for this gown, it's your life's work." I'd carry it out even during an earthquake. Now he'd let Lila wear it. If I wasn't burning up with fever, I'd have punched both of them. I staggered out of bed. "Michael, take me to the hospital now. I'm not just allergic, I think I have a fever." He finally turned to look at me. Before he could speak, Lila gasped from the doorway, "Mrs. Johnson's face is covered in bumps. It's terrifying. I'm scared." Michael practically leaped to her side, shielding her eyes. "Shoo. Lila. I've got you. Don't look, you might have nightmares. Let me walk you to the car first. Okay?" They left without a backward glance as I croaked his name. I curled up on the bed, shivering, whether from fever or heartache. I couldn't tell. Eventually, Michael returned. "Lila's kind enough to let you ride with us. Stop pretending and get up." I stumbled to the car, but when I reached for the passenger door, Lila was already there, clinging to Michael. "Mikey, she's scaring me. Make her go away." Michael glared at me. "Back seat. Now. You look like a corpse." I collapsed into the rear seat, gasping for breath. I tapped his shoulder urgently, but he ignored me, laughing with Lila about our old inside jokes, the ones he used to save just for me. Once, when I sprained my ankle hiking, he'd carried me 3 miles to the ER. Eyes red with worry. "I can't lose you. Dr. Maine. You're my anchor." Now he glanced in the rear-view mirror. "Get out here. The hospital's across the street. We can't be late for Lila's prom." I couldn't move. My chest felt crushed, each breath a struggle. Lila huffed. "Mrs. Johnson, hurry up. I'm going to miss my big night because of you." Michael dragged me out of the car. "You're burning up," he muttered, frowning, then his phone pinged with a prom reminder. He dropped my arm and sprinted back to the car, tires screeching as they sped off. That was the moment I decided to divorce him. I was fading in and out of consciousness on the sidewalk when a familiar voice cut through the haze. "Grace. Stay with me, I'll get you to the hospital." Strong arms lifted me as darkness swallowed me whole. I woke in a hospital bed to Ryan Lee's concerned face, my med school senior, who'd mentored me before moving to Boston for his fellowship. He dabbed my lips with a wet, "What happened? Where's Michael?" Ryan had always warned me about Michael's file, severe anxiety, alexithymia. "Grace, he's not your project." But I'd insisted, "I'm his therapist. He needs me." Ryan had lit a rare cigarette that day. Silent. Now. Tears soaked my pillow as I recounted everything. He clenched his jaw. "I'll make him pay for this." I shook my head, voice steady. "I'm done. I want a divorce." Ryan's anger softened to relief. "Whatever you need. I'm here." My phone lit up with a notification, not from Michael, but Lila's Instagram story. She was in my gown, spinning in Michael's arms under crystal chandeliers. Captioned, "My prince. My knight. My everything." Once, this would have gutted me. Now, just numbness. I reached out to my attorney and sent over all the case details. That night, Ryan stayed by my side. We hadn't seen each other in years. So we talked for hours, him sharing stories from his time studying abroad in London, me updating him on the unraveling of my marriage. The next morning, Ryan had just left to grab me breakfast when the hospital room door swung open. Michael strode in, lip curled in disdain. Is this really necessary? You're making a big deal out of nothing. Before I could respond, Lila stepped forward with a cupcake. All sugary innocence, Mrs. Johnson. I baked this for you. Hope you feel better soon. I turned away. Disgusted. Get out. I don't want either of you here. Lila flinched back, hiding behind Michael like a scared kitten. He stepped forward, voice commanding. Why snap at Lila? She's being kind, eat the cupcake. This again. He always took her side. No questions asked. This time, I didn't back down. Kind? Like when her kindness landed me in the ER? I shot back. Now that I'm here, she's kindly trying to kill me? Michael's eyes narrowed. Stop being so dramatic. I ate her breakfast too. And I'm fine. Because Grace is allergic to mangoes. Ryan's voice cut in from the doorway. He tossed the cupcake into the trash and set down a container of chicken broth wontons. Michael shoved him. Furious. Who gave you the right to throw away Lila's gift? She spent an hour making that. I laughed hollowly. Once. I'd left work early to spend an entire afternoon cooking Michael's favorite meals, all because he'd mentioned missing my cooking. But when dinner was ready, he'd pushed past me. Snarling, Lila failed her exam. I need to go comfort her. The boiling soup he'd knocked over had scalded my arm. My hours of effort meant less than a single call from Lila. That night, I'd lain in the dark as he rummaged through our closet for clothes. Chatting on the phone. Yeah. She made me a whole meal. But your happiness matters more. Lila. I'd never make you spend hours in the kitchen. I remembered the cold of my tears. The crack in my chest. Ryan rounded on Michael. Voice tight, she almost went into anaphylactic shock. I was the one who carried her here in time. Michael glared at him. Hostile, you can leave now. This is my wife, I take care of her. Amid their arguing, I spoke up quietly. Michael. I want a divorce. His head snapped toward me. Disbelief in his eyes. You're leaving me? For him? I studied his face. A stranger's now. You know exactly what you did. And since you love Lila so much, consider this your freedom. Michael scoffed. Dismissive. Fine. Let's see how long you last without me. Don't come crying when you realize you need me. Convinced I was bluffing, he stormed out, dragging Lila by the arm. The next few days were blessedly quiet. When I was discharged, Ryan drove me home. Thanks, Ryan. I owe you, I said. He hesitated, then nodded. The house felt empty without him. I'd hired movers to pack his things into boxes by the door. It was my condo. After all, sitting on the couch, I texted him to sign the divorce papers, only to find he'd blocked me. When I called, Lila answered. Sickly sweet, Mikey's helping me apply lotion right now. What do you need? Tell him to sign the papers, I said, hanging up. 3 days later, he showed up with Lila. Smirking. Missed me already? I knew you couldn't stay away. I didn't look up. Just pointed to the divorce papers on the coffee table. Sign. He stared at the boxes. Then at me. Stunned. Grace, we've been together 6 years. You love me. You can't just. Don't flatter yourself, I said coldly. He knelt beside me. Voice pleading. Lila's just a mentee. You're my wife. Stop overreacting to a kid. I laughed. Bitter. Really? Like when you told her classmates I was your mistress? Flashback. I'd rushed to a campus cafe after spotting my car's GPS at a college nearby, eager to share a new therapy technique for his alexithymia. Instead, I found Michael cozied up with Lila, her friends gushing, "Finally! Introduce us to your hot boyfriend." Lila had clung to him. "Fake teary, why are you harassing us? Homewrecker?" Before I could speak, she'd thrown her latte in my face and stormed out. Michael had shoved me aside to chase her, while her friends hissed, "Desperate much?" Later, he'd brushed it off. I had to protect her reputation. "What's your problem? You're a grown woman. Can't you take one little lie for her sake?" As if my reputation didn't matter. As if I wasn't a woman too. I, his legal wife, was being called a mistress. It was a total upside-down world. Michael must have remembered that incident too, because he awkwardly rubbed his nose. I pressed on ever since Lila came into our lives. "This is how you treat me? Yelling at me? Throwing things when you're angry?" He shifted uncomfortably, rationalizing, "You know I'm not capable of loving anyone else. You're the only one I can love. And with my alexithymia, I only lash out at you because I love you. Lila's just an outsider, that's why I'm polite to her." I stared at him blankly, saying nothing. He gripped my hands. "Desperate, you're my therapist, you understand this better than anyone. You chose to save me. You can't just abandon me now." I was stunned by his audacity to justify cheating with such hollow logic. I wrenched my hands free. "Your disorders don't excuse abusing me or disrespecting our marriage. And now I quit, both as your therapist and your wife. Sign the papers and get out." Michael opened his mouth to protest, but Lila cut in. Voice trembling, "I get it now, you're leaving Mikey because of me. I should be the one to go." She turned to him, tears spilling, "Mikey, stop sponsoring me. We should never speak again." Michael looked panicked, glancing between her sobs and my cold stare. When he didn't immediately comfort her, Lila bolted out the door. "Wait. Grace, I'll fix this." Michael hurried after her. That night, he returned with my favorite pastries. "All smiles, honey. I cleaned the whole house and made your favorite dinner." I frowned. "It's too late for this. Michael, we're getting a divorce." He dropped to his knees beside the bed, begging. I broke things off with Lila. "We'll just be mentor and student from now on." I almost laughed. So he did know their relationship had crossed lines. He'd just been testing how much I'd tolerate. Looking at his once beloved face, I felt nothing but disgust. I tapped the divorce papers on the nightstand I already signed. "Now it's your turn." Michael's eyes reddened. He shook his head and tore the papers to shreds. "I won't. I can't live without you. You're my only doctor. My only cure. After years of treatment. How can you just—" "You said Lila was your cure," I interrupted, mimicking his tone. "A useless doctor. Remember? Go to her for help." "I'm done." He collapsed to the floor, slapping his own face until it swelled. "Please, Grace, for 6 years of marriage, give me one more chance. I'll cut Lila off completely. I swear." "Fine," I said. "I'll give you a chance." I knew he'd fail. 2 days later, I canceled Lila's sponsorship. The truth was, Michael couldn't afford it. He'd been using my money, pretending it was joint funds. When I got home, the smell of food hit me. Michael greeted me warmly. "Honey, I cleaned the house and made your favorite dishes." His over-the-top niceness was just performative, guilt-driven desperation. But I played along, savoring the meals he owed me. He watched me eat, starving for praise. Once, I'd praised every tiny thing he did to feed his need for validation. Now, I ignored him. "Did I do good today?" he finally asked. Voice small. "Can we forget about divorce?" I said nothing. Just then, My mom called, she'd fallen and couldn't get up. I rushed to grab my car keys. But they were gone. Through the window, I saw my car idling. Michael behind the wheel. Move, he shouted. Lila's being harassed at school, she's on the rooftop crying. My mom fell. I need the car to check on her, she might need the hospital. Take a taxi, he snapped. I'll visit your mom after I help Lila. It was rush hour, no cabs in sight. Let me drive. Or we're done, I warned. He hit the gas, knocking me to the ground, and sped off. I scrambled up, ignoring the pain. My priority was Mom. Just as I panicked, Ryan called, Grace. Your mom's okay. I helped her to bed. I'll wait for you here. Relieved, I took the subway. When I arrived, Mom was chatting with Ryan, he'd stopped by unexpectedly. Found her fallen. And helped her. Thanks again, Ryan. I owe you a proper dinner, I said. After settling Mom, he drove me home. As I got out, he hesitated. Why not let me cook for you tonight? I let him inside. Ryan's cooking was amazing, I'd loved his dishes since med school. As I tied his apron, I joked, this doesn't count, I'll take you out next time. He glanced around, where's Michael? Are you divorced yet? He's comforting his mentee, I said, smirking. Divorce is imminent. The harassment Lila faced? I'd orchestrated it. Not just truth. I'd posted our marriage certificate on campus gossip, tagging Michael's photo. No need to mention Lila, the comments did the rest. Isn't that Lila's boyfriend? Turns out she's the mistress. Wait. He's married? Lila's been lying about being single this whole time. I saw that guy with the finance department scholarship student outside campus before, I thought they were dating. Lila has no shame. Remember when she accused the wife of being the mistress? What a joke! Just then, the doorbell rang. It was Michael and Lila. Before they could speak, I thrust the divorce papers at him, sign. Michael took the papers but tried one last plea, Grace. I cut him off, when my mom fell and needed me. You still chose Lila. How dare you ask for another chance? He hung his head, sniffling, but you're the only one I love. Lila rounded on me, eyes blazing, Mikey. Just sign. She ruined my reputation at school and cut my funding. After she bullied me. You still. Michael snapped at her. Face dark, shut up. You bragged about us non-stop, this is your fault. Lila stared at him. Shocked, it was the first time he'd ever raised his voice at her. I added coldly, oh. Lila, the luxury car he picked you up in? Mine. The money he sponsored you with? Also mine. Michael couldn't work due to his mental health, everything he had came from me. Lila went pale, collapsing to the floor. Her gold digger dreams shattered. Get out, Michael snarled at her. In that moment, I realized Michael never truly loved Lila. She was just a trophy, a distraction from his cushy life with me. But when she threatened that life, he discarded her without hesitation. Lila fled in tears. Michael clutched the divorce papers, let's talk later. 6 years together. You can't just. Ryan emerged from the kitchen in an apron, dinner's ready. Grace. Michael's face paled at the sight of him, what are you doing here? Get out of my house. I slid my arm through Ryan's, he tensed. But didn't pull away. This is my new boyfriend. Sign the papers and leave. Michael staggered, nearly falling. Then he laughed wildly, no. You're lying, he's just your senior. You're trying to trick me. Ryan spoke calmly, why would she lie? I've loved Grace since college. If you hadn't come along. Michael swung at Ryan. But my senior was a kickboxing enthusiast. He pinned Michael to the floor in seconds. I'm losing my wife. Michael wailed. I kicked his leg. Indifferent, sign. Hands shaking. He scribbled his name and stumbled to his feet. One last pleading look at me. Then he staggered out. After closing the door, I teased Ryan, "Wow. So you did have a crush on me all those years?" "Still do," he said, meeting my gaze firmly. I froze. Brain buzzing. "Great acting earlier," I managed. "Wasn't acting," he said. Ears red. Serving me food. After that, I only saw Michael once more, to sign our divorce at the courthouse. A year later, I heard through mutual friends. After the divorce, he spiraled, drinking heavily. His mental health deteriorating. Lila, ostracized at school, crawled back to him. They became toxic codependents. But when Michael had a manic episode, Lila slapped him and threw things. Enraged, he shoved her out a window. She survived but was paralyzed. He was committed to a psychiatric facility. The news left me numb. It might as well have been about strangers. It took me a year to accept that Ryan's confession had been real. Now, we clinked wine glasses in our cozy apartment. "To us," I said. "Every day with you is a dream," he smiled. I nodded. Content. Me too.